What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. So, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, wherever, Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot card spreads based off our ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, and when she's going void of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be fantastic, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. That's like one of my favorite parts, Cancer. But, Cancer, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. In Cancer, one, happy Friday. It's Venus Day. You know, Venus rules over Fridays. Hopefully got if it's payday, hopefully got some money, feeling abundant, maybe feeling just beautiful there, Cancer. Just always. But also, Cancer, how could we not be feeling pumped because the moon is in Cancer? And with the moon being in Cancer, you might be feeling a little more sensitive than normal. But the perks with that, Cancer, is that now you're really kind of tuned into your intuition, because you know we really our intuition is really kind of tied into our feelings, Cancer. And that really kind of helps us navigate through this space there. Thank you. And you know, I feel like it really, but that is it is a very emotional placement for the moon as well, just because now the moon is at home in our sign and things like that, Cancer. So it's something to be mindful of as well, you know, letting the emotions get the best of you, you know, just or getting to that sort of reactive energy. But you also may be feeling a little more nurturing than normal. You might want to, you know, just kind of cuddle up at home, cook a home cooked meal, maybe get under the blankets, kind of watch a movie, things along those lines. But you know, Cancer, we're also the moon can also deal with like the because we're associated with the fourth house as well. You know, you might be, you know, which is kind of can be rooted in the past. So you might be thinking about some past things as well, or maybe even feeling a need to want to connect with like family and things along those lines, and however that may look for you, whether if we're, you know, connecting with like our actual, you know, maybe parents, siblings, or something like that, or maybe even getting in touch, doing some like deeper research, maybe as far as like your ancestry and things along those lines, Cancer. You know, feel a little deep there, Cancer. So that might be something to even look into there. But then we're in the last quarter phase here, Cancer, and with this energy, this is a great energy for good for really kind of letting go and reflection, and really kind of cleaning up any sort of like emotional and physical kind of clutter that might be kind of built up there, Cancer. And really kind of thinking about like noticing if there are, now that we've got this new kind of thing locked in, you know, as far as like whatever that we're working on during this lunar cycle, see if there are any other things that may have come to the surface now that you got this thing kind of locked down, and see if how we may go about tackling this during the next lunar cycle there, Cancer. And then last few things. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Cancer, so definitely check them out. I think you would absolutely like them. I think one of them actually has her moon is in Cancer, so something to check out there. But let's get to your first card here. And ooh, look at you, Cancer, just sparkling in the sunlight, because you got the first card of Aries here, which is the Diamond card. And with this card, this is a card of creative force, faithfulness, value, perfection, brilliance, commitment, light, purity, esteem, unconquerable force, multidimensional, multifaceted, and invincible spiritual power. And the energy that's coming through here, Cancer, interesting, is the multidimensional. And I'm with that, Cancer, because I feel like that there is this energy of, because when you think about the moon too, the moon deals with the subconscious, you know, the things that are that we keep kind of hidden with ourselves. And you know, I feel like there is this energy of maybe needing to just kind of pay attention when you do find yourself kind of checked out of the 3D Cancer, whether this be through, maybe even through like daydreams, maybe this is through meditation, maybe this is like in a meditation in numerous form, whether this is sitting in a quiet space or maybe sitting in front of a fire, getting lost in nature, maybe sitting in front of a river, things along those lines, or maybe even paying attention to like the dream space, Cancer. That could, it's another way that you just kind of connect to different dimensions here. And just like, I feel like it's paying attention to those, how those energies maybe kind of make you feel, or maybe in a way inspire you in a sense, because the moon is like associated with the high priestess, and it's tapping into our intuition, and with us being in a more kind of extra sensitive type of energy there, Cancer, maybe feeling more emotional, that we really can use that to our advantage in order to kind of really like pick up any sort of like divine messages and things that may be kind of coming through here, Cancer. Very interesting energy there, because I feel like even just thinking with like the high priestess, she really is kind of like a very more kind of the high, like a private figure, where her husband, the hierophant, tends to want to share the knowledge and things. She's the type that it's only like, I feel like a select few really kind of really get to know, and no one ever really, I feel like, knows the high priestess. There's always those things that she's always going to keep hidden. But it even feels like, as I'm even saying that, there's like even just like different dimensions of you, Cancer, that I feel like that are maybe even just needing to be kind of tapped into, and just like that are trying to maybe kind of, how I was talking about, shining through there, Cancer. And very, very kind of self-discovery, I feel like, is kind of coming through here. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Cancer. Ooh, interesting. Okay. Ooh, Major Arcana City. I'm with it. So you have the Tower up right here, Cancer, and then you have the Star, the Magician, and then the Five of Wands in reverse. And I feel like with the Magician kind of popping up here, Cancer, I feel like that the Magician is supposed to be like you having all the tools at your disposal to manifest. And the wands, the pentacles, the cups, and the swords. And see, I almost forgot one of Cancer. But I feel like maybe for some that maybe there's some skills that might have gotten forgotten. When I feel like whenever we come through on this journey here, yeah, I'm not sure if you believe in like past lives there, Cancer, but I'm just thinking kind of like with the South Node. The South Node is kind of the things that in like your astrology chart, the South Nodes are the things that we've mastered in a previous life, and then the North Node's what our soul wants to focus on in this life. Fun little fact there, Cancer. My North Node's in Cancer, which is kind of like a generational kind of aspect. They move every 18 months, but even on a more sort of like a unique level, it's more so the house placement that it gets involved in. But I feel like that there's something where, I don't know, there's a skill that I feel like that's wanting to manifest in order for you to kind of tackle these tower moments. But I almost feel that, or when challenges kind of come your way, Cancer, but I almost feel that there is, it's almost like with the Star card being here, I almost feel like that there's something that maybe for some there's this energy of, connecting to these different dimensions in order to heal some sort of like maybe either like some like childhood trauma possibly, but even some sort of like past life sort of thing, Cancer. I'm not, very interesting. I think I'm gonna need to get a little more with the Tower here, but it's interesting just because after the Tower is the Star, and it's just feeling like there's something kind of blocked off with the Star card here, because usually there's a figure in one of the decks that I really like. There's this person that's because this is Aquarius energy, and there's one person that are carrying these two like big pots, and one of them is kind of taking energy from the heavens, and then it's manifesting into this water that's pouring out into the 3D world here, Cancer. And it just kind of feels like with the Five of Wands being here is that where we might be at odds with that connection. You know, maybe some of us may not feel that we're as intuitive, or that we're not able to tap into the side if unless we're doing something like a tarot, or like a crystal ball, or maybe like a Reiki or something along those lines. Just those are just a few examples. But Cancer, all of us have the potential of intuition, you know, whether this be through creativity, or, you know, building, or just like even just like I don't know, Cancer. Let me get a little bit more on this tower here. Hmm. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Cancer. Oh, and just by the way, Cancer, since I got a couple moons here, the I got all the moons here. So, but the moons in this deck are cups, and then the stars in here are pentacles. But you have the Knight of Moons upright, and then you have the Seven of Moons, and then the New Moon in reverse here. And the New Moon is one of these special major arcana cards in this deck. And I'm even just kind of thinking with the Knight of Moons that there is, because he's usually when he in like the traditional decks, so like the Rider White, he's got this cup that he's kind of like almost looks like that he's kind of scrying in the water, trying to figure out his heart's desires here. And with the Seven of Moons, it's like that. It almost feels like that for some. It's like we want to get into that creative space, but we're not sure how because there are so many options. And the Seven of Moons to me though can be, it's a tricky card because sometimes in that sort of search to connect with source, whether this is conscious or unconscious, you know, sometimes that, you know, if it becomes too much, that maybe we can indulge into sort of like escapism type of things. You know, that's, you know, the Seven of Moons for me can be like a prelude to a devil moment here. And I don't know, Cancer, but I'm also just, I feel like that just for some it's just like we're there are a lot more things that we have available, a lot more abilities and things that we have at our disposal than we realize. And that with the New Moon being here, and that's interesting because I like that. It's like on the full moon in this deck, the other special card, there's a like a keyhole in the deck, or in this in the moon, but I like on this one how there's a keyhole like in the hand here. And I don't know, it just gives me this energy of that you have the key to unlock this your fullest potential here, but it's just like making that a purpose, you know, making that kind of changing things up a little bit. I feel like with the towers, like something's trying to kind of divinely guide you here, Cancer, is really what I'm sort of getting with this energy. Hopefully this makes sense, Cancer. All right, Cancer. Let's see what else is going on here. Thank you. Ooh. All right, Cancer. So you have the Two of Moons and the Queen of Stars in reverse, and then you have the Eight of Wands and then the Judgment card here. And that's what I'm kind of feeling, Cancer. It seems like that there's this energy here, maybe of just like messages may have been coming through. You know, this can be the Eight of Wands can be like a card of news here, and I feel like that it's paying attention to the messages that are coming through from all dimensions. You know, again, maybe in your daydreams, maybe when you happen to do some meditation, maybe this is where, maybe you've even noticed like some people might be saying some things that kind of like that they wouldn't know, but it's just like it resonates with you in a different kind of way. There's something here like a rebirth that's trying to happen here with the Judgment card, and you know, like you kind of reclaiming your power here in a sense, you know, because this is ruled by or this is a Pluto energy that's coming through. But you know, Two of Moons and Queen of Stars here, Again, you got more resources at your disposal than you know. And the Queen of Stars, she's the type that I love the way she manifests, because she really does. She's very practical in her approach. She's probably the most practical of the queens, and the most earth. She's the earthiest of the queens. So, this is Capricorn energy, but she still tunes in to those kind of divine messages that come through, and she utilizes the signs and things in order for her when she's making a move. She is connected. All the queens are very intuitive. It's just manifest in different ways, and I feel like that's kind of the thing that's sort of coming through you here, Cancer. We're all multidimensional in how we, even when you watch like different tarot readers, we all connect in different type of ways, and maybe even how we interpret the cards are, sure, there's that similar sort of baseline, but then it's that uniqueness that kind of comes through there, Cancer. And that's where I feel like with the Two of Moons is coming through there. It's like kind of finding how you again connect with source, and how in nurturing that, because the Two of Moons is a very lovely card. This is Venus in Cancer, and I don't know, Cancer. It just feels like that maybe for some it's just like, I don't know. It's just like part way it feels like that, because we are, in considering the moons in Cancer, we are an emotional sign, and I feel like that a lot of society kind of feels that we've kind of had to bottle up things, and that you're not allowed to feel, and you're not allowed to do this stuff. You have to toughen up in things, and where, sure, there is a time and place for that type of things. We can't completely cut that off, because then you cutting off your emotions and things cuts you off from source, Cancer. I feel like that really affects us more than any other sign. I feel, just because, I mean, the phrase that the moon has for us, our mantra, almost in a sense, is that I feel. And so, yeah, we just want to be kind of mindful of that there, Cancer. But I do feel that, the times are changing. I'm even noticing just like how the conversations are kind of going in. I actually ran into a Cancer in the store, and that was brilliant. But it was just like the fact that I was even having that conversation, we sort of had like this Cancer unite type of moment there. It was really cool, and I feel like that we're getting into this place of, because maybe even for some it's just like maybe it's been seen as just like a little eccentric or a little weird or something along those lines. But Aquarius energy, the star, is all about weirdness, and being your unique self, Cancer. You're my kind of weird. I have a buddy who's an Aquarius that has a sign that says that. I love that. But yeah, well, just a little something to think about there, Cancer. But let's get some advice from the moon. All right, Cancer. Last little bit here. Oh, I love it. Look at this sunlight. And I dig that too, even though it's in reverse, because you have the sun, the Eight of Stars, and the Six of Swords in reverse, and then you have the Emperor up right here, Cancer. And then let's switch back over. Oh, maybe. There we go. But with this energy, Cancer, I do feel like for some that maybe I almost feel like that there's like, even though this brick wall is kind of broken down here, Cancer, I almost feel like for some that there is this energy of that things have been like our sunlight's been kind of walled off for a little bit, like our kind of like our, I don't know, it's like our true happiness. It's, and it's not to say that you're not happy right now, Cancer, but I feel that when we do connect with source in that sense, your higher self, your ancestors, even we're talking about connected with ancestors, because that's even interesting. I was even thinking about that, Cancer. So, that's however, again, angels, spirit guides, whatever that's looking like. I feel that when we connect with that energy, that stuff becomes less kind of monotonous, in the day to day. We kind of can navigate through this 3D realm a lot easier. But I feel like maybe for some, maybe there's this idea of how we, maybe this stuff again maybe sounds too fanciful, or it sounds too, I don't know, Cancer. But when you think about it, I mean, we're spiritual beings going through this human experience and meant to learn and things along those lines. And I feel like with the Emperor, it's like this really the sense of kind of coming into your true power here, and like in figuring out what that means. And that's interesting too. Looking at you syncing with the energies here. Cancer, first card of Aries here, and the Emperor's Aries. Just like little things like that. Like it's kind of cool to see how those little messages can kind of come through there, and just even just like in your like everyday Cancer. Hmm. But yeah, something to kind of think about, Cancer. And listen, but just think one more thing, which is with the Eight of Stars here. When you are, kind of, maybe doing, if we're doing like this dream work, or if we're doing some more meditation, or maybe even just doing some reading about all this stuff, even just kind of figuring this thing, however that looks, Cancer. It can be a lot of work at first. It's a lot to kind of take on and things like that. But I feel like that the more you work on this thing, the brighter that light shine. And when I talk about that, look at it, you like the sun shining on your stuff like a diamond, something along those. Like, see, those just like those little kind of moments like that, Cancer. And it's curious how that works, and you kind of things become less of a coincidence, and just more so kind of works with like divine timing, and brilliant, Cancer, just like you. So I think I'm gonna leave that there. I think that's a lovely way to kind of wrap up a Friday, and I hope that hope that made sense, Cancer. But if anything resonated with you, which I hope so, give it a thumbs up and share this, Cancer. I'd love for all the Cancers to just get into that sort of intuitive space, and really kind of tapping into your high priestess energy, and then really becoming just powerful healers there, Cancer. And in whatever avenue you decide to take that through, it's because you can do it in a whole number of ways. This could be through science, through math, through uh, architecture. I mean, it's a whole number of things how it can manifest, Cancer, and it's brilliant all the same. But and if you haven't already, a powerful intuitive, subscribe, hit that bell. But even though you probably just sense when I release it, but but subscribe. Do me a favor, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified on all these videos each day. And then lastly, Cancer, tell you check your sun, your moon, just check your chart. It's cool when you learn about that stuff there, and see how your energies manifest, and it's very fascinating. And then come on over to my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do videos Monday through Friday there. Oh, excuse me, no, I don't. I do weekly videos. I mean, I do, but I do weekly videos, monthly ones, yearly ones. I'd be cranking if that were the case there, Cancer. It's a good old time. And all the housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Cancer. And you got the Ace of Stars here. And so I feel like that now. I feel like with the Ace of Stars being here, I feel like it's like as you start learning about this stuff, just paying attention to how you manifest, Cancer, with this Ace of Stars. So I feel like for some, I don't think we've been realizing just how much we do create, and how we can will stuff into being. When you want something, bam, it's there. You find the tools to get it. You get the resources, Queen of Stars, to accomplish this stuff, whether this be, getting like, if you need like, you for example, there's this book that I got for like on an astrology book, and then I just happened to be looking at something later, and then it's like it's sold out. Like I don't know if you can, well, at least on Amazon you can't happen to find it. So it's just like divine timing. It was just like all those things just fall into place when they really need to. But I don't know, Cancer, just like really, I don't know, pay attention to really kind of how you manifest, and how you just like, there's more to you than just being a Cancerian, and just like, but just something to think about. But let me get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Oh, I love it, Cancer. Thank you. Because you got the 16th card here. Tower energy. So a lot of change that's coming through here, Cancer. But you got the Mukuna card, Mukuna. We're gonna call it Mukuna. So you see how often I've worked with this earth, Cancer. But this is a journey card, and like that, it's ruled by Mercury and Uranus, and Mercury's here, but Cancer, I do feel like that it is a journey. We're on a journey of like self-discovery and figuring out how we create and how our thoughts, because both Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, but both are very very smart, very thinking type of planets, and I feel like it's like just I like how this like there's this thunder cloud kind of popping through. It's just like it's like your thoughts literally becoming things, and it's like creating this rainbow. There's this harmony here that's happening. I feel like, and it's just like it's learning how to utilize your skills on this journey and how things can change and how life can throw you in different directions here. And while we're talking about higher octaves there, that just kind of dawned on me there, Cancer. Pluto and Mars here, the tower, Pluto's a higher octave of Mars. You see how things can just kind of like randomly, and it may seem just like little things, but it all kind of connects in an interesting type of way, and I feel like it's you getting ready to come into your higher vibration. Every day we're on this journey and we're learning and we're growing. You're working towards that higher vibration, Cancer. So just something to think about there. Nice little thing to think about on a Friday, but. All right, you stay. How we doing? Okay, we're doing great. So you stay safe out there, Cancer. With all this intuitive energy and this, journeying through different dimensions and all that stuff. Have a blast, Cancer. Be safe, but have a blast there, Cancer. Know you're divinely protected. You keep eyes on the moon. Maybe do some moon gazing. I got to. Oh, I don't even got to tell you, Cancer. I know I told you, I think like a few videos ago, that I didn't get to see the full moon on like the first day, but I got to see the full moon when it was at its fullest. So that was really nice, and I did some moon gazing there for a while, and it was nice to just kind of connect with the good old moon and just sort of bask in that kind of healing, intuitive energy, and it's spectacular being a Cancerian. So enjoy it, Cancer, and I will catch you on the next one Monday.